Yo.
Yo,
Thanks for doing that.
I want to be involved in your
Welcome to the first ever visual CineClwd podcast. Visual CineClwd podcast.
Visual. Be proud.
Yeah, it's episode 33 for anybody who listens to us audio-wise, but it's the first time we're doing this digitally. We've always done it digitally.
Words are hard.
Yeah, fucking hey. It's the first time we do it visually, and that's exciting. It's very fun. We're going to try to do this on a weekly basis and keep it going with the pod, because the pod is fun when it's visual and people can see our beautiful faces. Just to put names to faces, I am your host, Nick. This is my co-host. I'm always joined by this man.
Nick.
That's Nick.
Nick and Nick.
Yeah, Nick and Nick. But now you have faces, all right? So we both have beards and faces. I don't know. One of us,
one of us
has a beard.
Yeah, mine is like
the other one has
a semblance of a beard.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm basically a musketeer.
Okay, fair. Yeah, call me bearded Nick. That's it. That's fair. I'll take the beard. I'll do beard.
Isn't it an insult?
I feel like if I was a woman and they called me bearded woman, then it would be an insult.
No, isn't it like degrading? It'll be like called like, oh, you're bearded something or something like that.
I think it's to help differentiate the two of us because we both have the same
like,
name. And it's like everything about. I have glasses. You have glasses.
I hear bearded Nick, and all I hear is like you.
I'm bigger than you. Call me Big Nick. I don't care. Bro. Bearded Nick, Big Nick. I don't care.
Nick.
If you want to help me, Nick A. My last name starts with an A.
Damn.
Your last name starts with L. Nick A. Nick L. Which we've always gone with.
It
the
might
podcast
just be
as
Nick
well.
and Nick.
Yeah, fuck it. What if somebody has a question for us?
If they're gonna just address it as you and you. If it's specific, they're gonna find a way.
I can hear the cat.
Cat goes crazy.
You hear it? No, it's a cat. That is my father. It's my father.
Your father's a cat.
Father's walking. No, I could hear the cat. No, I thought I heard the cat. Anyway,
that's the right question though. How are they gonna differentiate?
I told you, bearded. Call me bearded Nick. Call me Big Nick. We'll just reserve you to Nick, or we'll reserve you flannel Nick.
Well, right? I'm gonna have to wear a flannel from now on.
Every day
For the rest of my life.
No,
Truly
every
Canadian.
episode. No, not Canadian, is it?
Flannel.
Lumberjack is fuck though.
Yeah, but I hear lumberjack. I hear Canadian.
What about Vermont?
Vermont is almost as if it was part of Canada.
Fair enough. Without wasting any more time about what determines what a
lumberjack makes
is,
Canadian.
let's talk about the movies. This is the first episode of the month of October. We are the 8th, posting this on the 9th. Tomorrow is a Wednesday. It's Wednesday. What day is it today?
It's Tuesday.
Producer.
It's Tuesday.
Babe.
Producer babe.
Producer babe. What date is it today? The 8th? Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow will be the 9th, and this will be out on the 9th, October 9th. Beautiful day.
Cold as fuck.
No.
Bruh.
It's beautiful outside.
It is beautiful, but apparently people were complaining.
It's weather. It's sweater weather. Anyway, October looks beautiful for movies. This is rare, especially coming off the...
Rare?
No.
October is usually always pretty packed.
October is always sweet. But it's rare I was going to say it's rare because, in my opinion, this is a better month than what we've had in the summer. Yeah. And you feel like this is the norm?
It is the norm.
October's doper than the summer?
We've talked about it last week before we got, like...
Yeah, we were talking, we had in the conversation.
But the thing is, summer season is blockbuster season. Yeah. Autumn/fall/beginning of winter is awards season. Yeah. And then it's limbo until someone picks it back up.
That's January.
January till March.
Is called limbo shit show.
Yep. Limbo shit show is the way we go.
Right now we're entering that award period where people are pushing their agenda to get to the fucking Oscars, and absolutely stacked here. This is a good mix though. We have like the remnants of box office blockbusters, and then we have some other shit, and then we have some really creative shit like Pharrell's movie. We have the list in front of us. Let's go through it. Essentially, we got Saturday Night, which is next week. That's a movie about the first episode of SNL ever, and that is the movie that seems like it's going to be the most fun
of that week.
Yeah, apparently it's fun. Maybe the month is stacked.
Yeah, that week specific.
Yeah, Saturday Night's going to be it. That's going to be crazy. We're going to be back at it next week talking about that. We got The Apprentice, Donald Trump biopic. Described as an American horror story, which is
very politically agenda based.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see. We Live in Time. Andrew Garfield, Florence Pugh.
About to bring out goddamn
fuck
dishes.
Is that? Fucking cat. Okay, whatever. I'm getting confused. Okay, We Live in Time. Florence Pugh, Andrew Garfield. Terrifier 3. Art the Clown is back. That's Damien Leone. Piece by Piece, which is that Pharrell movie I was talking about, that I have absolutely zero interest in watching. How about you? You can't.
It could have not existed, and I would have been.
Yeah, but it does exist. Are you gonna go watch it?
No.
Like, it's not something. I'm not running for that.
Bro, like, why would I?
Well, I don't know. Just Lego Snoop Dogg's in it, voiced by Snoop Dogg himself.
That might actually push me to go. Imagine a Lego joint. What would it look like?
Lego. What would a Lego doobie look like?
Imagine the smoke coming off of it, like the small 1x1 pieces. Just goes like.
That'd be pretty cool. They're not gonna have that in that movie. I guarantee
It's
you.
PG what?
Probably PG 5 years old. I don't know.
Bro. Pharrell. 5-year-old don't even know who Pharrell is.
I know, but I don't know. A joint, spliff blunt,
A nickname for
illegal cigarette, the
yeah.
devil's lettuce, marijuana, pot.
You married Joanna?
No, Mary Jane, pot.
Yeah.
The Zaza. The week after that, we got Brothers, which is Josh Brolin, Peter Dinklage, Glenn Close, and Brendan Fraser. I forgot about Brendan Fraser. That movie looks fucking funny. It's on Prime Video. I'm excited for that one. We also get Woman of the Hour that week. That's Anna Kendrick's.
Talked about it a few episodes ago.
We did, eh?
Yeah, we did.
We did. We talked about the trailer, I think, like a little bit deeper. That's coming out. We got Rumors, which is a parody of the G7.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
I don't know much more about it other than the fact that it's like apparently G7 gets stranded in the middle of nowhere, and then what happens after that. Smile 2, which is this year's Halloween movie. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is the horror movie to see as we approach Halloween. It's the only one hitting theaters, so yeah.
Yeah. Terrifier 3.
Terrifier 3, yeah, but it's more of a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas time. It's set at Christmas time.
Bruh, it might be set at Christmas time, but with what's going on in it, it's far from a Christmas Carol.
I'm calling it a Christmas movie. I'm writing a Christmas movie. And then we have
But the paint the
Anora.
walls like red, and you're calling
Art the Clown? Yeah. Deck the halls with bells.
Yeah, but it's going to be like the blood of all of his victims.
So Terrifier 3 premiered. It got test screening. And apparently people left the theater and or vomited in their seat during the screening.
Unsurprisingly.
Apparently the movie's gross. Like, it's worse than the other ones have been.
I'm not going.
Yes, we are.
Fuck no.
Bet your ass.
I'm going to ask a popcorn bucket, but empty.
Can I just get the bag?
Give me a bag. I need a...
That's you walking up to the thing. Look, man, just let me get the bag. Outside of that, we get Anora, which is Mikey Madison and Sean Baker. That movie's done the rounds. It won the
best
Palm Dog.
Palm Dog for like best overall, best screenplay.
Palm Dog's best overall.
Yeah, because screenplay was Substance.
The Substance, yeah. So yeah. Palm Dog won at Cannes. Anora has been making the rounds at all the festivals, and it's been smacking folks.
Yep. And unsurprisingly, it's on the top of our list.
Oh yeah, for me, this is the month. This is the movie I'm most excited about this month. I didn't know this was coming out this month. I thought it was going to be later, but Conclave. Microvale. Conclave?
Microvela?
Conclave? I don't know. Conclave. I don't know how to say the word. Anyway, it's Ralph Fiennes. No, Ralph Fiennes? M from James Bond. Ralph Fiennes?
Mm-hmm.
Voldemort.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Fiennes?
Mm-hmm.
His name is Ralph?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's him. Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
And I forget who else is in that cast right now. Do you know? It's the movie about the church, the priest.
Cillian Murphy.
No.
No,
it's not that one. That's
that one.
Fuck.
You see the one that I'm more interested in then.
Yes, I know. You got the one. That's November though. Conclave. Oh, Stanley Tucci and John Lithgow. John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, Ralph Fiennes.
Why do they have like the hardest name to pronounce for us?
I don't know.
It's sad.
It's about the Cardinal Lawrence, who is tasked.
Can I have a picture
of the movie?
I'm visual. Just need the poster. Damn.
It was at TIFF. It premiered
at
TIFF.
Yeah.
You remember?
I remember seeing it.
Me too.
Much more.
Yeah. You have to sneeze. Go, producer, babe. Sneeze. Fuck. What are you doing? You distracted me with the fucking... But you didn't do it.
It's going to appear out of nowhere and just go, boom!
The conclave is about a Cardinal Lawrence who's tasked with leading one of the world's most secretive and ancient events, selecting a new pope. Once the Catholic...
Look at that spread.
What are you talking about?
The score spread.
Oh, that's high.
Yeah, that's high.
That's a nice spread. Letterbox spread. That's a nice spread. Once the Catholic Church's most powerful leaders have gathered around the world and are locked together in the Vatican Hall, Lawrence finds himself at the center of a conspiracy and discovers a secret that could shake the very foundation of the church. I'm not going to lie, it's the first time I read this thing. This movie looks fucking awesome.
Looks like it could very easily fail, too.
Oh, 100%, but it didn't. Apparently, look at the spread. It didn't fail.
The spread doesn't lie.
The spread doesn't lie. The spread doesn't lie. Except for
when it does.
When it does. And then finally, Venom: The Last Dance. And the only reason it's on here, I was not going to put it on here, but the reason it's on here is because I saw Dak Prescott in the commercial for it.
Therefore,
did you see it on ESPN? They had Dak Prescott in the Venom commercial.
No.
He's like following around Venom.
Why?
I don't know. It was so bad.
Like he's chasing his shadow.
No. He's like walking around. He's
I don't need to watch that.
I want to show you a picture of it. He's just walking around. He's like with Tom Hardy, but they like CGI'd him in. Here they like green screen Dak Prescott into the look.
I said I did not want to watch it.
No, I'm showing you that he's there.
Bruh, it looks so fake.
It 100%. Look, and then later on he gets on the like, what the fuck? He's on the horse.
That picture with him just like this will be remembered. Forever.
Oh yeah. I love you, Dak Prescott. Anyway, so Venom: The Last Dance caps off the month, and I'm not very excited for that one either. But those movies are fun, no matter what anybody says. Speaking of having fun at the movies, last week we went to see Joker: Folie, Deux, which has been exactly like this whole buzz surrounding this movie has been exactly what I want it to be. And not because of the negativity around it, but more so the fact that I'm seeing some split opinion. Like these people like it, people hate it. Like, it sits at a 39 on Tomato Meter with a 39 audience score, which is not good. And it's a box office disaster. Morbius had a better opening weekend.
Apparently they rounded it up.
Oh, they passed Morbius?
Yeah, like a slight margin.
Oh. Big win. It's a shit show. So yeah, Joker Folie Deux had a 200. I say Folie Deux. I'm so caught up listening to reviews of it that I say Folie Deux. Joker Folie Deux had $200 million budget.
Sounds like it. But on a worldwide scale, though, it actually performed.
It did.
I think it crossed 100.
It feels like a failure right now.
It doesn't.
It feels like a colossal failure. Worldwide, 114. It did most of its work internationally, which is shocking. Like $77 million internationally.
Yeah.
Did we like it more up here than they did down there?
I think down there they were not ready for what it was.
We're also domestically too, though, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, no, obviously whoever saw it, they didn't really like it. Like the scores have been low; they've been in the shitter. And it's been a shit show. I don't know. I'm seeing videos on like TikTok of like people trying to read Joaquin Phoenix's lips at the premiere. And apparently he looked at Lady Gaga and he was like, it's horrible. But like when everybody was clapping, he was like not clapping and he's like, it's horrible. And they kind of laugh it off. But he like was like, nah, this is bad. People are like trying to figure out like... I don't know. I saw this funny video of this guy in Times Square who's like, you see this poster? No, Joker poster. He's like, this movie's fucking ass. that video made me laugh.
I don't get the scale of the hate.
I don't understand the scale of the hate either because I, for one, really, really, really like this movie.
And I'm in the same boat.
I fucking love this movie. And the more I think about it, the more I like it. The more I want to see it again, the more I find it conceptually fun, the more I'm excited to see, wait for it to come out and I get to watch it again on at home.
I don't get the expectations. Like, to be fair.
You don't get the producer, babe, why are you sneezing?
Why are you being alive right now? Like, why are you... Why?
You okay? Thanks, Mom. Keep going, sweetie. Anyway, uh, Joker Folie sets expectations because Joker 1 is what it is. That's why. That's really the only reason why. And when you're going to make a sequel for a movie that doesn't really need one, well, you better do it for a good reason. I can say that this movie doesn't exist for any good reason. There's no reason to make a sequel to Joker. But they did. So we have it. So when you go in to watch this movie, you either pick to go in saying, I hope it's better than Joker 1, or it's not going to be better than Joker 1, or you just sit down and you watch it for what it is, which is a brand new movie with Joker and Gaga, and you run with that. And that's the issue here, is expectations are set so high from a movie, that the first movie that was so controversial, it's so special, that this one, if it doesn't live up to that level, it's a disaster, it's terrible, whatever.
I feel like a big part of the disappointment from the public is that, given that we did not really know what was going to happen narrative-wise with the movie, like where the story was going to go, expectations were set on building upon what was left behind, you know? Like a Joker bigger than what he was during the first movie. But what we got is more so of an introspection on the first movie.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not ready for that, A, this is not the movie for you because you're not going to like it.
No.
And B, you're going to have negative opinions about it because this movie is solely that. A reflection upon what it was.
Yeah. So where Todd Phillips and the crew of Joker could have taken this opportunity to go blow this thing up. Because the end of Joker 1, for all intents and purposes, if we flash back to the end of Joker 1, he provokes the riot. He gets put back in jail. He is singing to the psychotherapist, and he runs out of the room with blood all over him, and he starts running, and the guards are chasing him. So we're assuming he's killed the therapist lady. Mm-hmm. However, when you count up the kills he has that they're talking about in Folie, he didn't. So what it feels like at the end of Joker is that Joker feels, as a character, this man feels liberated, freed. He's covered in blood, but he didn't actually kill anybody. He's just free. Nothing is holding him back anymore. This movie follows that psychological timeline, but it doesn't follow, in my opinion, well enough. And this is, I gotta play like realistically here. It doesn't follow the timeline of what happens in the world in the first one. The man just raised hell.
Yeah, but it was 2 years later.
Is it 2 years later?
It is 2 years later. He spent 2 years in prison.
Okay.
And they had the time to make the movie about him and just overall have
It's true. I forgot about this. It's true. Yeah. It's true. You die down, right? In the spotlight. It's true. It's just that's a fair point, actually. But I'm more so tonally, where you end with Joker 1 is like he's free, spirited, he's a madman, and he's raised hell in the world. This is where Joker's going to do the most Joker things. And the second movie, although I really like it, is not Joker doing Joker things. No. It's Arthur being like, I had what I want. I had 15 minutes of fame, and I don't have anything anymore. I'm alone again. I'm in the cell. I'm the same loser I was before I was the Joker.
I have a bigger question for you.
Go for it.
Because I don't know if it's true. I did not read all the comics. I did not go over his character arc fully. But to me, I feel like if we go back to the subject of the expectations with this movie, I don't know how, for a movie, for the first one that portrayed the Joker as long, I know he killed a bunch of people and all. Six, but he was not.
Say it a million times.
He was not. It's gonna sound crazy, but he was not a criminal in the same way that he is portrayed as a criminal in the other movies. He's not a part of the organized crime.
Yes.
Because the substance of the Joker, what makes him crazy is more so than his personality. It's the way that he uses his traits to create chaos beyond the scale of his individual.
It feels very much like Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Like this rendition of it creates chaos unintentionally. He himself is so in search of to being free and to being how he wants to be that he unknowingly is fucking up the world like drastically. He's dangerous, man.
He's a serial killer.
Yeah. So it's just, but I loved with this movie with Joker Folie à Deux is like, take him. He did what he did. He felt like he was on top of the world. Take it all away. What is Joker if he cannot be Joker? Because that's all he wants. Like people who are like, this movie's boring. No, this movie's actually smart. Sure, it's slower paced, but that's a palette. You have to choose. Do you like slower paced movies or not? I don't mind slow burns, especially when they feel as rewarding as Joker does psychologically. This Joker does. The first one feels very rewarding as itself. It's just, you take Joker away from Joker. He wants to be that way, which is like people say. And then what Joker Folie à Deux does is that they show snapshots of his mind frame when he wishes he was like that. And people have been like, well, this movie has no storyline. Like, it's just a bunch of nothing. It's a bunch of, fugazi, like it's up in the air. It doesn't exist. Everything that you're seeing on screen is not real. But to me, I play the opposite, where I'm like, no, it's real to him. Like he feels that way, and you're understanding more about him and the reason why he acts in the real world based off what he's doing in La La Land. And I don't say La La Land because it's a musical number, but La La Land because he's like in Cuckooville, like he's out of the world. And so you're absolutely right. You're like, it's nailed introspection, and it's introspection to a grand scale. Name another movie that takes a moment to make somebody reflect on their own decision than with a grandiose music number. Not that these are the most amazing musical numbers you're ever going to see. They're not.
But they're on purpose.
They're effective.
But they're purposely bad, because the musical numbers are just there to like.
They're kind of like whatever.
No, but they're there to dissociate between reality and Cuckooland, as you said. Like every time they go, and I remember this because we walked out of the theater with a group because we went to see the movie as a group, and I was like, how did you not, like the people that did not get that part of the movie, I was like, how did they go over like their heads that when they go into a musical?
No, I think everybody got that.
I know,
but people are like,
purposely
boring.
Said was like, that's useless, but it's far from useless. It's
a way to do it. It's not useful or useless. It's just a means. Because if we're being for real, they do a lot of musical numbers to progress, and some of them are placed in areas where you're like,
it's pretty random.
Where are we gonna go from here? And it's like, oh, let's not forget that Arthur's Still Crazy musical number, And then we haven't even talked about Lady Gaga yet, but it's like, let's not forget Arthur's Still Crazy musical number. So in some ways, they act like a bailout for Todd Phillips. But that's only if you're not buying into them and you want more. Every time he sang, I was like, keep going. Do it again.
It's gonna get
keep
somewhere.
going. You're moving. And when he sings, he moves. It's like a cutscene in a video game. When a cutscene triggers, you're going from the checkpoint to the next checkpoint. That's what the musical numbers felt like in this. And I'm not saying that it's like a chore and you're hoping for the movie to progress. I think the movie progresses at a swift pace. It's swift. Swiftly means quickly, but this is not quick. It's like
it takes big steps when it needs.
Yeah, it just kind of goes with the flow and it does what it needs to do. Instead of trying to figure out like what makes the movie so good as a movie, let's talk about like the components of the movie itself. Obvious one, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, who earned himself an Oscar for Best Actor for the first time he played the Joker. I'd say he's about the same here. And I don't say that in like a disappointing way. He just can't get much better. You can't get much better than winning Best Actor, can you? So you won Best Actor. Come back and give that same type of energy, that same performance. And I'd say he
matches it.
Yeah, he just matches it. And then he does some of this singing, this deadpan singing. To me, it's a less psychotic performance than the first one. The first Joker, there's the sequence where he, Little Gary? The entire sequence in the first movie involving Little Gary, where it's the first time he paints his face white and he's standing in That is terrifying. Joaquin Phoenix in this one is more terrifying, is less terrifying and more vulnerable seeming, but he's still the most dangerous human in the room.
But the thing is too, like they made the Joker the butt of the joke in the second movie, you know, because the world around him, everyone wants to see him fail, right?
Well, except for the people who want to see him succeed.
Exactly, but the thing is, you go from the first movie where he's like on the come up, perhaps, like somewhere where like he's a real threat, and like you know, when it's brand new, you can't really find its flaws. Yeah. But now that he's been around, like people just look at him and like, yeah, you're just crazy. Yeah, and, like, they shrug him off. Yeah. And I feel like they explore that very well too in this movie.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, no, Joaquin is
nothing to complain about. In my personal opinion.
He's fucking amazing in everything he does. He's one of the best actors.
Period.
Alive. He's so amazing. I want to talk about Brendan Gleeson, who plays the cop, the guard, the main guy. Brendan Gleeson is also amazing in everything he's in, and he is so cool in this movie. He is. This movie annoys me, and all the two of the Joker movies annoy me because you end up feeling bad. And you end up wanting to apologize to a human being who is pushed to do terrible, terrible things. The way that Brendan Gleeson's character treats Arthur Fleck is nice at times and awful at times. And Brendan Gleeson does such a good job at playing this guy's bad, but he's a terrible human being. But what am I, you know? Brendan Gleeson is the character. He's the way he portrays his character is like, sometimes you're like, he's being nice, and sometimes like he's just a fucking asshole. And that's, it works for me because it doesn't, not every actor can do that. Not every actor can be a charismatic, arrogant human being.
And still have a heart.
He's got heart, but at the end, doesn't have much heart. Like, you know, like he's got a whole lot of pride and a lot of ego. As a character, he's on his high horse as a security guard. It's just everybody who here's what I'll say. This movie works well on a casting and acting front because everybody who's cast has bought into the movie. And as an audience member, I've bought into the movie. You were talking about the group that we saw it with earlier. They didn't buy into the movie. My brother Matt was in the back. He sighed every time there was a musical number. He didn't buy in. Nope. He didn't buy in. You gotta buy in. You gotta put up with it. Like you can. After 5 minutes into this movie, I'm like, I'm buying in. There was this long shot. It's a one take shot. It takes Arthur from out of his room through the thing. The guy takes him to the thing. Take his medication. Go through the guard. Where are you going? We're going through the other hall. We see the music in one take, and I'm like. Cinematography is beautiful. This movie is 5 minutes in, and I like the way we're moving. I like that Brendan Gleeson in the role that he is. I like Joaquin being the way that he is right now. Then you see Lady Gaga for the first time, and you're like, Lady Gaga, I guess, is the only question mark of the movie going into the movie, because you're like, she's only been in A Star Is Born and House of Gucci, and I like her in A Star Is Born. I liked her in House of Gucci. I did not like House of Gucci. I like A Star Is Born. You know, it's sometimes bad. House of Gucci was, bad, as a whole, bad. Was just, it's a fucking shit show. But sometimes good actors can be in a shit show and still do well. Lady Gaga's in this. She was the question mark. If we talk about casting, Brendan Gleeson and Joaquin are untouchable. Lady Gaga's the one that you wonder, like,
especially considering that you went from Margot Robbie.
As that's playing that same character, although the character is not played the same way at all.
Universe, not the same.
No, but it's not even the same tone. Like it was not even the same person. But yes, you take it's going to be compared to forever. Where even like Joaquin's Joker is not the same, but they'll be like, who did a better Joker, Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger? And I'm like, fuck off. Like, you know, like they don't belong. Like Jack Nicholson, no, none of these go together. It's about the tone of the movie and what they need out of a character. If you ask me what my favorite Joker is, I tell you Joaquin. He's the only Joker I'm really scared of. Heath Ledger's Joker, Batman beat the shit out of him. Like, you know, like, no, but like, you know, like, but Joaquin feels crazy enough. He feels
believable enough.
He's crazy enough to kill his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. Like, you know, if you kill your own mom, what are you gonna do to me? Like, you know, so Heath Ledger's Joker is a little crazy. I think he killed his father. No? Heath Ledger's.
Yeah, but then now it's all up in the air. Given
it's all fucked up. The point is, you get Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and yes, she'll always be compared to Margot. Yeah. She's the only other person. But Lady Gaga is the only actress in this film that I'm like, I could have used way more of you. Joaquin is amazing. Brendan Gleeson is amazing. She is,
but she's the driving force of the main character's
she's
like
better.
Action.
She's better.
Flat out
better. She is flat out better. She more is demanded of Harley Quinn in this movie. More is demanded out of Gaga in this movie to play the character who can push a story. She has to push forward what's happening for Joker's life. That's weight for an actor to do that. Like, that's hard. And Lady Gaga, this is her third acting role. Who does this in their third acting role? I understand she's there mostly for the musical numbers. Mm-hmm. They would have had anybody else do it, but she's got that pizzazz. Like, she's got the star power.
The point where like they're interacting not in a musical fashion don't feel like a gimmick either. Like, they feel like fully fledged scenes. Like,
no, they're fucking great.
It just works as a unit, which is crazy. Like, how, and I feel like in parts you gotta give credit where credit is due. The fact that Phoenix was able to like play that vulnerable side of the Joker and just eat away at any love he would have like gotten from anyone. Yeah, truly helped enhance the impact that she had on the movie. But 100%. You can't deny that her work can't be knocked down. She was great.
No, she's great. She's been singing for
God knows how long.
20 years.
Her whole life for sure.
Her whole life she's been singing. If anybody wants to criticize her singing ability, fuck you. She's amazing at that. She could sing, and then she can act. I was so impressed with Lady Gaga's subtle acting. Subtle. She doesn't have to say anything, and you're like, yeah, I got that. I understand. She draws power to the screen every time that she and Joaquin are doing something together. You're like, what is Gaga doing in this scene? Why is she here?
Yep.
And that's good on the movie, because every time there's a musical number or a scene with the two of them, she's never in a scene without a purpose. She's always there with intention. Harley Quinn's character is placed in scenes on purpose to push something forward, which is why I think she's underutilized.
And which is why
she's not in it enough.
I want to play devil advocate here, and I think this is why for most people the movie feels extremely empty, because as you said, she's not there enough, and she's the reason this movie goes forward, because she gives purpose to everyone around her. Like, regardless of whether it's like the journalist, whether it's the Joker himself, whether it's just the world in general, like driving the craziness of the character. It's all her.
She takes it all the way too.
Yeah, it just, as a whole, she's the reason things happen. Because if it wasn't for her presence on the screen, it would have never been about the Joker. It would have solely been about Arthur.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that she's back.
She drives the Joker.
No, but picture the movie for a second without Harley Quinn in it. It would have been a trial.
No, not even. Not even. If it wasn't for... yes, there would have been a trial, but he would have never wore makeup. He would have never been the Joker.
And what would have happened? He would have probably been moved to a normal hospital.
No, they would have won the case.
Yeah, and winning the case means...
he gets moved. I guess he gets moved to the hospital for help, and he gets to be freed eventually because he pleads insanity. She makes him the Joker.
Yeah.
Without her, yes, I agree with you. That's why I was trying to like put it in a sentence. I don't know. I'm like, get Joaquin Phoenix to sit shotgun to somebody who influences his character this much is insane. It's impressive. and it's impressive for her, and it's kudos to him too, because not that, oh, okay, you're not the driving force of the movie, boo-hoo. It's more, you're not the driving force of the movie, but you're letting this other character pull you through the movie, and you're doing it. And Joaquin Phoenix does it so well. He feels so, like I said, I've never felt more vulnerable for the Joker. I've never felt more compassion for the Joker than I do in this movie. You feel bad for the guy because he
shows the world like he's accomplished, like as a human being through this relationship, although extremely unhealthy. Like it makes him have a purpose, bigger than himself. But the thing is, that purpose is gonna drive him like to his death eventually. It's
like how far are you gonna go? And I don't know, man. From everything to me, they just, you got a guy like Todd Phillips, who has under his belt The Hangover Part 1 and Part 2. Part 3 too, I think. The Hangover movies. And he made Joker in 2019, and you're like, daring, bold, but interesting. It's good. And then he makes this, which feels like the biggest swing any superhero IP movie has ever taken. The only thing comparable to this, in terms of a swing of a superhero movie, there isn't any. No, I was going to say the Batman stylistically, but the Batman, even with its style, is still the Batman.
Yeah.
This is like, we hand-plucked the Joker, hand-plucked Harley Quinn, throw them into this thing. A courtroom drama, psychological thriller with musical numbers. Outlandish. There's no reason for this movie to succeed. And according to a lot of people, it didn't. I sit here today, and I know you sit here today as well, knowing that this thing is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, period, man. I don't know. Do you have a favorite part?
Favorite part for this movie?
Yeah.
Probably right after he fires his lawyer. Like
that scene?
Not that after that, what unfolds after he fires it.
Yeah.
Because like it's really when like everything gets
for the third act.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that like he was willing to be like, okay, I'm just gonna buy to whatever I've been told. I'm gonna follow my like love and see what happens, and it ends up eating him away.
Yeah.
Like, and I loved how like after that he just broke down and just like revealed that like I decide that right now it's over. I'm taking back control, and just shit unfolds afterwards. Like it shows you that although he stirs the chaos around him, what really breaks the world more than him is how people react to his action.
Yeah.
And how like they use that as a jumping point to make the world even more chaotic.
So it's actually funny you're saying it. This is, and I said favorite part, but that's my favorite aspect of the movie. The fact that behind this Joker, Arthur Fleck cares about people. You see it first in the scene with little Gary, when he's like, you traumatized me, Arthur. Like, I was the only person who was nice to you, and that's why you didn't kill me, but you did so much worse than just killing me. You've ruined my life, And then Arthur's like, our Joker, Arthur, whatever, he's like, no more questions. He's trying to shut it down.
Yeah.
And his voice is breaking because he knows behind the Joker, what he's done. He's hurt the only guy who was nice to him.
But the other way around too. Like the only guy that he could truly call a friend.
Yeah, the guy who didn't fucking patronize him everywhere he went. Little Gary was nice to Arthur.
Joker.
Yeah, it's just, I noticed it there, and then you notice it at the end too, where he's just like bailing, and then you really get the gut punch with the ending, which is not the ending when he goes to see Harley Quinn on the steps, and he's like, where are we going? I'm free, and she's like, it's a fantasy. Like
you're not free.
We're not free, man. You've been in law, like you don't believe in where we are. In her mind, she loves the Joker. He does not. He's not the Joker. This is what we know. Like Arthur has said, I'm not him. He actually, when you said the breakdown, and he kind of tells the courthouse that he's not the Joker. Put me in prison. I killed 6 people. I'm a bad human being. No, he's not him. and he's not him because he's compassionate. What's so special about the Joker character in the comic books and anything is that he's a cold-blooded piece of shit. Like, he's like, yeah, fuck you, I blew up the house, do something. Like, he slides down the money pile. Where is the Italian? Like, you know, like, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody. But Arthur Fleck does. And that makes this movie interesting. Because although in his mind, he pictures himself taking the gavel and beating in the judge's head, Arthur won't do it. Arthur can't do it.
And you see it every time there's, like, a aspect of violence against him in his, like, musical events. Like, every time Harley Quinn pulls out the gun and is like, what are you going to do now that you are vulnerable? Like, who's reacting to this vulnerability?
He can't do it. Arthur will die. Arthur is not built to be the Joker. Arthur is not built to be cold-blooded. Arthur in his head can take over the world with the confidence instilled in him by Harley. But when Harley turns on him, realizes that he's just Arthur, and Arthur doesn't have anything. Like, fucking phenomenal job by Todd Phillips and the script. And I know people who don't like it have said that, like, people are gonna come out and say, but you just don't get it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I believe that people cannot like this thing.
It's very specific.
It's very niche. It's fucking weird, and it's specific, and it's different. But we're not gonna come out. I'm not gonna come out and say you just didn't understand. No, you can understand. It's just, I understand that it's slow. I understand that there's musical numbers. I understand that the whole thing feels random, and I understand that in some areas it's directionless. But if you want, like I said earlier, you buy into the idea, you're gonna like it. If you can't get into it, don't bother. It's like a new television show. If you watch the first episode, second episode, third episode, fourth episode, I don't understand why you don't watch it. It's not for you. This movie is not for everyone, but it worked for me. I don't know.
And that's the risk of using such a big IP to push that kind of, like, narrative. It's just
push that kind of movie. Period.
At all. Like,
that type of movie should not belong to the Joker. In no world does it make sense where a Joker movie is this type of movie.
In terms of, like, return on investment, that is. But I feel like it accomplishes it itself. Like,
it's just extremely artsy.
Like, I don't see the problem in that.
It just works, man.
Like, I get the reception, but, like, at the end of the day, I just feel sad that, like, all these efforts, all of this work that has been pulled for, like, years to make this movie happen is gonna end up being blown under the rug for just being another weird movie.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, but
it kind of is.
That's the gamble. It is weird. That's why it's the gamble. I'm gonna make a weird movie. It's gonna be different. Maybe not everyone will like it. Maybe everybody will. That's the risk you run when you make a movie like this. I don't know. You want to talk about the ending a little bit? Ending a Joker. I found this yesterday. Apparently, the ending of the first Joker. You know when he gets on top of the cop car and he, like, takes the red paint and, you know. Apparently, what was supposed to happen is Joker was supposed to carve his face in front of the support. He was supposed to cut his face open and do the thing, right? And if you could guess,
I opened it.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you could guess who killed that idea, Christopher Nolan, who at the time was in the collaboration with Warner Brothers, said, "Fuck no, he's not cutting his face open." He believed that only Heath Ledger's Joker should have his face cut, and now Nolan's no longer at Warner Brothers, so we get this ending after, essentially, we touched on it earlier, Harley Quinn essentially leaves Arthur, and Arthur gets arrested, gets put back in prison, essentially back to where he started. He went through all of these steps to try to be different, and he's back to same old Arthur in prison. And this is odd. I like it. I feel like it's the only right way to end it, but the ending is odd. Like, it does not have to do this.
It's surprising. It's like, you don't expect it.
So a guard comes to get Arthur out of the community hall or whatever the fuck in the prison, and he's like, "Arthur, you got a visitor." And as a viewer, you're like, who could be visiting him? They walked in the hallway, and one dude comes to talk to Arthur, and the guard just keeps walking, and Arthur's alone with the dude. The dude shanks him to death. And then Well, he shanks him to death, and before he does it, he's like, "You want to hear a joke? You get what you fucking deserve." He does the exact same thing that Joker did to Murray in the first movie, Murray Franklin, Robert De Niro, and he shanks him to death, leaves him on the floor, and this shot is beautiful. I love it. It's a tight shot on Arthur Fleck's body as he bleeds. His face is just expressionless. He's dying, and behind him is the
guy who shanked him.
Yeah, the guy who shanked him starts laughing against the wall. He's crazy, and he puts the shank to his face and cuts his face open, smiley face style. Boom! You get that's the Joker. He's the crazy one. His character who reoccurs throughout the movie in different areas. I could not have predicted that being the ending when I was watching the movie. I didn't think they were gonna kill him and do that. Maybe he dies, not like that, like not shank in prison. It's a little anticlimactic as an ending, especially because that's literally the last scene. Yep. That's it ends with that. They do a really good job with the editing between him and Harley killing him in his fantasy. So the Joker fantasy in Arthur Fleck's mind is dead, and it was killed by Harley. And real life Arthur is dead, and it was killed by the Joker. And if I didn't know that Christopher Nolan shut down the idea in the first movie, I would have been happier with the ending. Now that I know that he shut it down in the first movie, and they were like, "He's not here anymore. We're doing it anyway."
You feel like that was the reasoning behind it?
Oh, 100%. They said he's not there anymore. We're gonna carve somebody's face. This is what we want to do.
But it feels like, you know what's crazy?
It feels like a crock of bullshit.
It feels like it's a more accomplished version of the original idea.
No. Imagine he stands on top of the cop car. Supporters around him. And he carves his face open. I'm telling you, he does that in the first movie. You do not get a sequel.
That was exactly my point.
People who are mad at this movie, it's Christopher Nolan's fault.
I was about to say just that. You got this movie because this did not happen. But I feel like it gives...
but you do not need it if he carves his face.
I know.
Because you have Joker.
I know. Like, my point is not that. My point is that you wouldn't have gotten this introspection. And to me, it adds more depth to the overall Joker universe. Fair enough. For me, this exploration, although flawed in some people's mind, and ultimately the execution might not have been the most like unison wise. Not everyone likes it. Yeah. At the end of the day, what you get is not only a more introspective version of his like psychology, but you get something that will, at the end of the day, make any other Joker that comes after him, because for sure there will be more Joker. For sure. Context and like quality and background onto like their madness. So like you're playing with the comic book idea as like Joker is a curse and it gets passed from person to person. It's essentially Smile. That's what Smile is, the movie. Fuck that idea. I don't like that idea. It's stupid. Arthur Fleck is just not built to be the Joker. Arthur Fleck is an insecure version of Joker. If he should have died in this. The point there. No, I don't miss. Yeah, because you just said it yourself. Like, I don't want to see it as a curse, because that, like, in the point of this movie there, like, if you see it as there can only be one Joker at a time, they chose him. It didn't work out. They were like, "Fuck you! We're just gonna like retcon your idea, move to the next one." You know? No, I don't see it that way. I'm like, to me, I'm fine with the way this movie goes. I am fine with it. But let me put out my thoughts here. If Joker carves his face in the first movie, the Joker IP under Todd Phillips' Jokers stopped there. Because the Joker has cemented himself. This is the character you're running with. Joaquin Phoenix is Joker. What this movie does is Joaquin Phoenix is Joker. At the end of the movie, Joaquin Phoenix is Joker. Arthur Fleck is Joker, right? In his mind, he's Joker. He everybody loves him. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's Joker. This movie, for most of it, is undoing that. Is Arthur would like to be Joker. He thinks he's Joker, but he's not. I just believe that if he carves his face open at the end of Joker 1, those permanent scars on his face,
you don't get a sequel.
I agree. That's
so.
factual.
But so when you get this sequel, the oh, he's gonna die and the real Joker is gonna.
No, but ultimately, that's irrelevant. Don't you find quality in this like unwinding of the character? This like
I love I love the movie. I don't like that the ending feels like it's just a result of what was not allowed to happen in the first one. Also knowing that if they were allowed to do what they wanted to do in the first one, there would be no movie. Joker Folie à Deux is good. I like it. It doesn't need to exist. I started with that. If Joker 1 would have ended the way Todd Phillips had in mind, and Christopher Nolan would not have shut down the idea, you would not have had this sequel. You would not have had this movie. But you have this movie. How are you going to end it? You're going to do the same thing that they told you not to do in the first one?
How would you have ended it?
Let him die.
How?
Fuck if I know. Let him do something stupid and die. Let him get himself shot. Let him try to escape. Let him think he's invincible as the Joker and die. Don't let him be weak, curl up, and die. Let him commit suicide. I don't care. No, I don't want to. I'm not encouraging suicide, but I'm like, let him die, not in a way that makes you be like, oh, the real Joker's coming now. We have the real Joker. Barry Keoghan is up in Arkham Asylum in Robert Pattinson. He's there. Heath Ledger's in Gotham City with Christian Bale. He's there. Jack Nicholson's with Batman. He's there. We don't need the real Joker. This psychological analysis of the man who wishes he was Joker is so much more interesting than having Joker himself. I like the fact that he dies at the end. I don't like the fact that this dude who's killing him is going to be the Joker that the world deserves. Like, you know?
I get it.
Like, there's not much to argue with, but it's like, I don't fuck with. I'm like, dude, you could have done everything differently. Remember when he's talking to Lady Gaga and she's like, we got to get out of here. And he's like, I can't, they'll shoot me. Like, he just says it so casually. Mm-hmm. Joker would be like, no, I'm doing it anyway. And then imagine he's doing it anyway and he gets shot. Imagine he's doing it anyway and he starts second guessing. He starts becoming insecure. He gets himself killed. Because Arthur Fleck is not made to be Joker.
Which is why he acts that way.
I understand that, but his death is so anticlimactic for that reason.
I see it's funny because now I just realize that we see it both in like a completely different fashion.
Yeah.
For you, it's the Joker trying to survive through Arthur.
Kinda. I'm seeing it Arthur as Arthur's trying to survive by being the Joker.
It's not exactly that. It's Arthur is trying to be Arthur, but everyone's trying to bring back the Joker in him. Force him to be the Joker. Where he can't be the Joker, he knows it.
I don't think. Yes, he knows. Yes, he realizes and knows it. Yes, he realizes he clicks and understands that he can't be the Joker.
No, but he knows from the get-go.
I don't think
because why would he plead for being crazy? Why would he go?
Because he's listening to his lawyer. Harley Quinn brings out the Joker in him.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "No, I'm really him."
Even his lawyer was like, "Do you want the world to see you as the Joker? Or do they want to see you as the man who needs help, who needs care?" It's the dichotomy that he's in is literally, are you gonna be yourself? Yeah. Or are you gonna let this other self rule over you? Yeah. And I feel like in the sense that you have those two entities, those two personalities, the fight between who's gonna win. Yeah. The main character is not the Joker. The main character is Arthur.
I understand.
Trying to fight the Joker.
Yes, I agree with you. And I'm saying he's trying to fight the Joker, understanding that he's not supposed to be the Joker. But why is it that in his mind, every time that something's not going his way, he, in his brain, if only I was Joker, I would kill everybody.
I couldn't quote this a specific one from the movie, but I'm pretty sure that when that happened,
the gavel,
because
the judge.
No, I know, but because someone triggered it. Someone.
Not all the time.
It happens on his own.
Yeah,
he goes crazy.
Picture the first scene where he's being walked from hall to hall, and all the guards have umbrellas, and in his mind they're all colorful. In my opinion, Arthur Fleck wants to be the Joker. He is unable to because of the type of person he is. Not everybody. I can't sit up on this at this desk and be like, I'm Stephen A. Smith. I'm gonna talk like him.
No, but you see,
it doesn't work. No, I'm not that guy.
But the problem is wanting. I don't think he wants.
I think he wants.
He wants something that the Joker brings him, which is attention,
the confidence, the attention.
Yes. He only got it through being the Joker.
I understand that.
And once he realizes that he can get it from somewhere else, that's when the Joker. But that's where he truly dies.
He can't get it from anywhere else because he was getting it from Harley.
Yeah,
and then Harley dumped him.
Yeah, and there you go. Now he has nothing left, and he realizes that.
I understand
that's
that,
why
but
then
he
dies.
This doesn't make the ending any better. Let him die. Let him die. Let him have nothing and croak in prison, like the person that he's going to be anyway. But let him croak in prison. Let him be silent. Let him be miserable. Let him die. Let Arthur Fleck realize that he's nothing but I just thought of it. Put him an ending where he's put back in prison and they throw him into a fucking cage like they did earlier in the movie, and he just lays there and he just falls asleep and he just dies. Not dead as in he's dead, like he's bleeding all over the place. He just and end it there. End it with the idea that Arthur Fleck is not the Joker. End it with the idea that Arthur Fleck is a shell of the man he wants to be, and you don't need to add anything else. It's like this cliffhanger ending of like the real Joker's out there now. But first of all, you didn't make enough money for a third movie. Mm-hmm. Let's keep it real. Wrap it up. Todd Phillips wrapped up Arthur Fleck's life, and this is when you can make the point. These movies are not about Joker; they're about Arthur. I agree. I like them better like that. Don't do the cliffhanger fucking sawed face off nonsense
It was not really.
It's not a cliffhanger, but I'm like, it just feels unnecessary.
It's a nod. It's a nod.
It's stupid.
I don't feel
it's a gimmick. It's a cash grab reason that we've been talking about it for 20 minutes because of some bullshit that he did at the end of the movie. Like it or not, that's what it is. Like, he didn't do this. It doesn't make the story better. Arthur dying alone makes, in my opinion, closes out the movie way better.
I feel like him dying the way he did makes the movie much more aware of what it's doing to the current Joker universe.
But these movies are not about the universe.
But like the three clowns that your brother Matt was talking about, the fact that you have like the clown, the killer, and the like psycho.
I'm not taking my brother's opinion on this movie. He hated it.
I know, but like the idea of
yes, the clown, the killer, the psycho, yes.
Yeah.
But we're doing the same fucking type of digging than we did when we saw Robert Downey Jr. get cast as Dr. Doom. What if it's that different unit? What if it's just a bullshit decision?
What if it's just
a shitty decision? What if it's just Marvel had nobody else and they took Robert De Niro? Robert De Niro.
Dr. Doom. That would be real Fugazi.
It would be funny. That would be crazy. But it's like, what if it's just a bad choice? What if you fucked up?
What if it's just a choice?
Yes. No. Sorry. That's what I'm saying. Not a bad choice.
I don't like how, like,
what if it's just a problem? I don't see it as a problem either. I'm seeing it as a cop out. I'm like, fuck you. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. It was the only thing that, take an example, a viewer like my brother Matt, who watched the entire thing. Brother Matt, friend of the show. He's on the show every once in a while. But brother Matt, who watched the whole movie, was like, this thing sucks. Got excited because of something that happened in the last 5 seconds. Fuck you. You don't deserve to be excited. You didn't like it. I liked it. I deserve to be excited. You understand?
That is so entitled. That is so entitled. Like, what? What are you even saying?
Hang on. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying I mean it in the sense that, reverse it. Todd Phillips made a movie he knew was weird. They knew not everybody was going to like this. Made it anyway and added a little thing at the fucking end that everybody's going to like.
You call it little?
It's fucking...
It took us by surprise. I saw that happen. I was like, what?
I'm not gonna lie. I had to pee so bad I didn't even notice it.
That's your problem.
I was staring at Arthur's eyes.
That's your problem. I saw it. I was like, damn, what a cool nod. Like, that's how...
It's not how you end your fucking franchise. Todd Phillips is not making any more movies as in the DC universe. He said that.
That's for sure.
His quote is, I feel like my time in the DC universe was these two films. He is not coming back.
I don't want him to come back. I don't see this movie as a continuation. I see
it as an ending, but I'm like, then make it about Arthur.
It is about Arthur.
No, a big homeboy slit his face open in the back.
In the background, it's all out of focus. The focus was all on.
I don't think it's gonna work. Bruh. I don't think we're gonna get to an end here. I don't like it.
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it.
I don't like the hate that you give it.
No, I don't like.
Producer E, how did you like the ending? Meh. All right,
but you didn't like the movie very much.
It was good, but I think a lot of things could have been done differently, or parts of the movie could have been removed, and the whole movie would have not have been affected. Like it felt long.
More digestible.
More accessible. Fair enough.
It just felt long.
You know what made me laugh during the movie is one time you looked at me and you're like, they're singing, and I'm like, I can hear them. That made me laugh. Anyway, no, I don't know, man.
I just don't get the hate.
I don't like cop out. It just feels like a cop out. It feels like, ooh, look what we did, and that's what it is. Like no matter what you can say, it's a nod, and the whole point of a nod is to say, ooh, look what we did, and I'm like,
I see that. Cool.
Ask me if I give a fuck. Like
I'm like, that's cool, nice. That's not why I remember the movie, but overall, that's cool.
I don't know. I don't fuck with it. I don't like it at all. I'm keeping it a stack.
It's fine. It's crazy though that our score doesn't match the world score.
No, I got like 4 stars.
Yeah.
I watch. Can you grade it numberly on 100?
People won't like my number.
Fucking spit it.
83.
80, I was gonna say 84. I'm not gonna cap. I was shining sharp. 84. The movie was fucking awesome. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Did you like it, Producer Babe? What was your grade for the movie on 100?
68.
Fuck you. Anyway,
it passed. It passed.
68.
Yeah.
And for the first one.
First one, I would say 80.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what pissed me off about this movie too, and the reason why I didn't see it, I said earlier, I had to pee. Our screening started at what time? 9:30, 9:15.
Yeah.
9:30. I had to pee as of 10. Anybody who goes to the movies knows that there's like 12, 15 minutes of commercials. So imagine the screening starts at 9:45. The movie's 2 hours and 18 minutes long. I had to pee 15 minutes in. My bladder put up a Michael Jordan Game 6 performance in that theater. You had no idea. I was sitting there. I had the legs crossed one time. Legs crossed over the other way one time. Slouch back, pelvis out one time. I don't know how people do it. I try my best to never get up to go pee during a movie. That pisses
very close. You came very.
Luckily,
close.
our auditorium was empty because I spent the last
25 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
10, I think 10, 15.
You were up.
I was standing on the side because I had to pee so bad, but I didn't want to miss anything. I did not want to miss a single thing. I will never get up to go to the bathroom during a movie.
The only time I did it.
You've done it?
I've done it. For like a movie that actually I can do it. Like, Indiana Jones 5.
You did it?
Yeah, I was not with you. I went with my dad.
The Dial of Destiny?
Yeah.
That shit was so ass.
Horrible.
That shit was ass. Movie's decent, but nah, it was actually not decent. That shit was ass. Why would you watch that?
Dude, I went with my dad.
I would have left to go pee and just never go back.
My dad
That's not true. That's not true. I never leave the theater. Have you ever walked out of a theater?
No.
Oh, I have. Ant-Man Quantumania. I'll never walk out of an independent movie. Even if I'm not enjoying it, I will wait for it to either do something. Yeah. I'll let it do its thing. But a Marvel movie? Yeah, I'm going to.
When did you walk out?
Whenever Bill Murray hits the screen. I saw Bill Murray. I was like, yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. I love Bill Murray. National Treasure, but nah, I'm not fucking mad than that. Yeah. Let's talk about this other movie. That we saw. Where are we in this? We are zooming. That is way beyond an hour.
That's crazy. You know what? It's.
You know what? Well, I want to talk about it anyway. It's October. October is spooky season, and October spooky season means that movies.
I'm gonna shit my pants every single day of the week because Nick moved me to a movie that is far too scary for my own little heart.
What movie?
Smile 2.
Smile. Did you watch Smile 1?
No.
We're watching Smile 1 before.
Fuck that.
Yes.
No.
Come on.
I'm saying no.
I say no.
Dude, as long as it's not the Terrifier 3, we're good.
Terrifier 3 is just going to be disgusting. It's not going to be scary. Anyway, this movie premiered on Netflix last week, released after premiering in Sundance in January. The movie's called It's What's Inside. It's What's Inside is a movie. It was the highest deal.
Yeah,
the biggest deal from Sundance 2024. It premiered in the midnight programming of Sundance. And I love this. Midnight programming debut. I wrote down here in my notes. Midnight programming serves. What the fuck? Midnight programs are for debuts, experimental movies, and horrific triumphs. It's for that weird shit. And Netflix bought this one for $17 million.
Only the rights?
To distribute it.
Crazy.
$17 million. The second highest movie at the festival was A Real Pain, the Jesse Eisenberg movie. That was for 10 to Searchlight. This is 17 M's to Netflix. That means Netflix saw this and bought into it. Unfortunately, I haven't seen many people talking about it, but I watched it last night.
Yeah, but Netflix releases are very insidious. Like they sneak up on you.
You wanna know why? Because they release movies every fucking day. Mm-hmm. Netflix is doing too much. Put everything into your release. Room. Exactly, like space it out. I don't know. It is written and directed by Greg Jardin, spelled Jardin in French.
Nice.
Greg Garden. GG.
GGG.
Yeah. Anyway, it stars a bunch of people that I don't know, like Brittany O'Grady, James Morins. I don't know these people, but I don't know, man. Talk about like this weird thing.
You're gonna have to explain.
Let me explain it to you. I'm gonna close this. I'll explain it to you. It's What's Inside is a group of friends, I guess you can call them, and one of them is getting married. Two of them are getting married, and this is me trying to understand. This movie's a little bit all over the place, but it's good. It's just all over the place. I liked it. It's a wedding, and they all go to the wedding. And there's a homie there's one of these mysterious friends of theirs who shows up later, and they're like, is he coming? Anyway, he shows up. And he's got a suitcase with him. And he like says, you want to play a game? All right, bro, what's your game, you know? So it's like, it almost looks like a mixing table for like musicians. Or like a lie detector test.
Yeah.
Like he plugs a bunch of shit in, and you stick 2 pads to your temples. And then there's a big red button. When he presses the red button, some fucked up thing happens, and everybody's in the room switches bodies. Everybody hooked up to the machine switches bodies with somebody else. They do it one time. They like it. The guy goes, how about we play a game? What's the game? We're going to switch, and people have to figure out who's who. But the thing is, like, this is a group of friends with a bunch of intimate connections to one another, and they got, like, romantic affiliations. And, yeah, let's just say it turns into a big fucking shit show about, like, 40 minutes in when they decide they're going to play the game. But when I'm telling you, we were looking at this stuff last night, and what time did we stop?
10:30.
10:30?
Yeah.
I started to watch this a half an hour late, 11. I couldn't believe it was over when it was done. I couldn't believe how fast it breezed by. It moves so nicely, so swift. It does everything so well. It's funny. It's quick. It's a hot movie. Like, it's like a summer blockbuster. It's set in October. People are fucking. People are dying. I don't know. Like, it is the embodiment of a midnight madness type of release. It's the embodiment of this movie that can garner a cult following. It's a movie that, frankly, I could never imagine Netflix buying. That's so really out of character. What Netflix movies have come out recently? Every time I look up, there's a Netflix movie. It's a rom-com. It's a movie about a farm girl.
It's always been a crowd pleaser.
Not even a crowd pleaser. It's
but
just
they
like
always try to like
generic turnaround, a little bit better than a Hallmark movie, but
crowd
not,
pleaser. The
I
goal is to
guess.
gather as many viewers as you can to one room.
I
and
guess.
even though it's not like 100% on Rotten Tomato, it just still draws views.
It's just I did not expect them to. I'm just trying to see what else they've done. The platform, but like, see, look at these movies: Union, Trigger Warning. Apparently, Ribble Ridge is great. Uglies, that was terrible. Resball, Deliverance, Lift, like Beverly Hills Cop 4. It just feels nice. Will and Harper apparently is cute, but it's What's Inside just feels like a movie that Netflix was like 17 M's for this. Fuck it, we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I can imagine this. Whoever told the CEO at Netflix that they were gonna buy this for 17 M's would be like, "Whoa, like,
wait a minute!"
But fuck it, man. It works out. Do more of this. This is a movie that I would have seen published by a Neon,
Mm-hmm.
a A24. It is similar to Bodies from a couple of years ago. In that horror comedy,
it's out there.
Meta.
Mm-hmm.
It's meta. It's so meta. Like half of this movie is about, like, one of the characters in this movie is so focused about her Instagram life. Like, she's an influencer, and like literally the way that they convince her to do things, because you got to set the setting right, where somebody's in her body, meaning they control what happens to her. So someone's in her body and they're trying to convince her to do something, and she's like, "No, I'm not doing it." She's in somebody else's body, and "No, I'm not doing it." So they literally take out their phone, and like she's like, "I work with non-profit organizations," and she's like, "Yeah, fuck the water program." That's how they get her to convince her to do it. I'm like, a movie that is talk about a movie that's just self-aware, in tune with the idea that you're dealing with these Gen Z. Yeah. I forgot. I never get it right. I know I never get it right though. But
what are we then if we're not Gen Z?
I am.
I know we're Gen Z, but I don't know how you can get confused. We're not Gen Alpha. I'm not skibbity toileting my way out of here. There's no way.
But this movie caters to that too, though. It's a bit of both. It's Gen Z, Millennial, and whatever the fuck the last one.
Alpha.
You just Alpha. They called themselves Alpha.
It's not themselves. It's just how it goes.
You just start with A after.
Then it's
Z.
gonna be beta, and then it's gonna be the rest of the letters.
Generation Charlie.
Yep. No, but that's not military code.
That'd be funny though. That'd be funny. Yeah, no, it's What's Inside is awesome, and it plays with art. Like, there's some shots in this thing that, like, there's a couple shots that focus solely on like mouths, lips.
How much of
talking,
this movie's appeal in terms of like acquirement from a big studio has been spurred from the success that Saltburn had? Because to me, this is like, for me, Saltburn, although I did not really enjoy it.
It's not Saltburn, no.
I know it's not
really
Saltburn.
bodies.
Okay.
It's really
but
that.
You get my point still. Whereas, like, for a weird movie to make way into the digital age, for like TikTok-wise, I felt like Saltburn was on everyone's screen when it released.
I think so, too. I think what Saltburn had everybody because of that stupid song. Not a stupid song, but like the Murder on the Dance Floor song. Saltburn was because Saltburn was interesting because Saltburn has shock content. Shock content works better than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! And also, not to mention, you have Jacob Elordi and Barry Keoghan, which are like the heartthrobs of TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Everything okay? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We're being told we blabbed too much.
We're not dying. Are we going out? But are we okay?
Yeah, you're more than fine.
Okay.
To make it the time that
Okay. Yeah.
We blab too much.
No, it's okay.
Perfect on time. I'm just saying.
Nate, how do you feel about being perfect?
I'm not.
She just told you.
Oh, thanks, babe. Anyway, yeah. So it's like
on our screens, Jacob Elordi and
exactly. You got Jacob Elordi, Barry Keoghan, which are like the heartthrobs of the TikTok
and you
generation.
get Sabrina Carpenter.
She's tied to it, so it's like you know how many times I've seen a TikTok montage of like Barry Keoghan and Saltburn, but they're playing
Espresso.
Some shit. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But there's no movie that manipulated the generation like Saltburn. Saltburn was so effective in that. This movie, like I said, is just kind of up that alley with, it's going to work for the people who would attend a midnight screening of something. This audience for the movie, It's What's Inside, are the same people that are going to watch The Room in theaters when it airs.
I gotta go watch it.
You're going to like it. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, this is so fucking goofy, but it's so fucking good for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It does nothing good, but exists good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just...
You know a movie that just oozes drip? Like food drip there.
Yeah,
like,
but it's then I would say that to go back to Netflix intention, I feel like good rom-coms are exactly that. Nothing excellent, but they ooze.
but they don't have good rom-coms.
I know, but my point is they're looking for that. Their eyes are tuned to find movies that could perhaps meet that idea of it might not be perfect, but it's gonna ooze something that is gonna bring people in.
I'll tell you what the problem is with Netflix. Netflix aims to find movies that people who are tired of their regular life can go on to their streaming service and watch something brain dead. It's What's Inside is not brain dead. There's some Netflix rom-coms that are fucking brain dead. Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry in an action romance is fucking brain dead.
Are you calling people that have Netflix subscription brain dead?
No, I have a Netflix subscription.
Are you brain dead?
Potentially, but I'm just kind of saying, like, you don't need to do that. Not everything has to be this family-friendly commercial appeal. How many Kevin Hart comedy movies that are PG-13 are we going to get?
How many did you watch?
Me?
Yeah.
All of them, honestly.
There you go.
It's just some bullshit, though. I feel so stupid when I
don't
watch
get how
them.
you complain.
God, because I feel stupid. But I watch them because I like Kevin Hart. And I'm like, fuck it. I also do this. I also do this.
The only one who likes Kevin Hart.
But I do this as a job. Like, I need to know what people are watching. I need to watch this. I want to see it. But I'm like, actually, I don't want to see it, though, because I know exactly what I'm getting into. When I watch Lift in January, I know exactly what type of movie this is going to be. And I watch it anyway. But this movie, I like not knowing what this is going to be. I like not knowing what the actual horror element is. There's nothing scary about this thing anyway. It's not scary at all. It's a comedy thriller. It is just fucking good. And it's like bodies. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I hear a whole lot of complaining.
I'm not complaining. I just think that Netflix also cops out.
Man.
Just fucking people copping out, man.
It's almost like the industry drives on making sure that things sell.
Yeah, they're not making money back on this thing. No one's going to watch this.
The Netflix releases make money like throughout their whole time on the platform.
$17 million. It's What's Inside would not make that at the box office.
You're sure?
No.
There you go.
I'm guessing, but I'm
17,
happy the
17 mil is, in the grand scheme of things, properly distributed.
Let's
not
see.
that
Let's
much.
see. I'm going to compare it to Bodies.
I don't think looking at the numbers would actually make you any good.
I just want to see. Yeah, Bodies, which had Pete fucking Davidson in 2022. Can we all agree that Pete Davidson in 2022 is essentially the man of the hour?
It wouldn't draw people in the theater.
They made 14 mil. It's What's Inside would have never made money back in the theater. I guess.
Is it better than Bodies?
It's the same. I would rate it the same. 3.5. It's meta. It's like so meta it becomes annoying.
Yeah,
but it works.
But Glass Onion did that too.
Like this is worse.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like the part that I did not like about Glass Onion, but it still
draws it's so meta it becomes annoying.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't like that about Glass Onion. Mm-hmm. I don't like that either. But it works. It works. It's a style that works. And Netflix...
It's very of the time, if we could say that.
Yeah, meta. That's literally what it is, right? So, I don't know. It's What's Inside is pretty cool. We got to wrap up, though, because we are approaching... We're way beyond... We're deep into this one. It's been a long one. Joker ate up the schedule. Before we go, I want to talk about one last topic that's going to piss off producer Babe. Sydney Sweeney Body Wash Genie.
This doesn't make this is for the pod exclusive.
This is not a clip. Sydney Sweeney, Dr. Squash Genie.
If Sydney Sweeney calls you dirty,
if you don't wash yourself, motherfucker, start washing. There's a series of commercials that were released by Dr. Squatch, which is a soap brand. We not make it? We didn't make it? I'm fucking talking.
We shouldn't add this. I think this is not necessary.
No, that's the point. It's not a part of a clip.
It's not a part of a clip.
It's just the end. It's
This is the end of the episode.
If the people stay up till
If
here,
you made it to the end, comment Sydney Sweeney body wash genie.
Yep. It's for the sellouts.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, so
I can't wait to see that collection on the shelf that's going to go right here.
I'm putting the... producer babe, can we frame the shot so that we can have a cardboard cutout of Sydney Sweeney body wash genie?
You can do what you want, babe. I won't stop you.
Good. Okay, good. A series of commercials were released by Dr. Squatch, and Sydney Sweeney is the star of all of them. She is the new face of male hygiene, and without her, I wouldn't shower. Okay, I'm done.